The Wellness Show, episode 134.
Welcome to The Wellness Show, a podcast on health and wealth. I'm your host, Tyhson Banighen, the founder of the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. Join me as we get the latest insight, tips, and strategies from wellness providers, coaches, and successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and much, much more.
And now part 2 with Tyhson and Detlef.
You know what, this is kind of the idea, just to connect, give that light, and be able to, I guess, see clearly yourself, where in this world right now, people aren't able to see with their, like you say, their RN, their subconscious mind is allowed to come through.
Yeah, if you're an empath, it's really, really difficult. I'll be very from the very beginning, what's yours and what's somebody else's and what's an entity and what's the planetary energy, what's the subconscious energy that you're receiving, it's just really hard to sort all that out. So, having an app that allows you to be connected, like literally plugging in to the divine flow and knowing when you're on and you're connected, and like you say, almost defragging your computer or doing a virus removal or, an upgrade. So here we are, planetary upgrade. And in actual fact, what you're saying is really an interesting way to put it. It's not an upgrade that we're in the midst of. It's not a new operating system. It's cleaning up the operating system that shouldn't have a problem in the first place, because it's divinely created. So we're just doing the repair, defragging, virus removal for that operating system. So that's a nice way of looking at it.
And that's the fascinating part, what we got 2.5 years ago. Again, it's these 3 o'clock downloads, right, where both of us independently got the basic framework for that. And when we met at this time, we were just putting it on the table, and then we saw it was a complete match of information we got independently in these 3 o'clock in the morning downloads. Everybody in that field of spirituality gets, right, when you're connected. And where you have the information, I guess Steve Jobs did the same thing when he created whatever he created, or Leonardo da Vinci and whoever is out there, or whatever you are doing on your end, right? That's how that works. And that's where it gets really interesting, because when that started, it was 2.5 years before we got into 2017 with all the craziness we are seeing all around us. And it's really fascinating how the universe works on that end.
Well, we're getting so excited about our conversation. We're way over our hour. So I suggest that there's one of two things. We're either going to have to shorten down this one, or we're going to have to keep on going for an hour. So, this is the end of round 1, and we're continuing on with the second session. So, so welcome back to the show. And that's part 2 of this series. So we're talking about a new operating system for planet Earth. And we've been talking about, well, it isn't really an upgrade. It's really, there's nothing wrong with the operating system that came from source. It's just that it's sort of got it cluttered up. Our hard drive has sort of been, needs a real good defrag. It's full of viruses, entities, disincarnate beings, belief systems that no longer work, that we've been taught or inculcated since we were children, or before we could even say no. We were taught about how we need to show up in order to succeed, whatever succeed means on this planet. But the game on planet Earth is you either play this way and fit in, or there's consequences. So for all of you that have been trying to fit into planet Earth's operating system, guess what? It's okay. You were never here to fit in. In fact, you're part of the planetary cleanup crew. You're here to do the job, to bring about the new operating system for, we're calling it Humanity 3.0. So join us at Finding the Force, meet your tribe, because together we can change the world. And the exciting thing about talking with Detlef and his partner is that here are the tools that are literally coming forth to allow us to be able to do this work, to keep us plugged into source and into the divine flow, to know when we are there and when we're not, and also to clear our system. So back to the work that you're doing. So that to me is extremely exciting, and it must have been wonderful. So to do this. So you said it was came over a period. Did I hear it right? 10 years, or was it 20 years?
No, 2.5 years.
Two and a half years.
Over the last 2.5 years, yeah.
Yeah, 2-3 years together.
3 years.
Yeah.
So 3 years of
Yes.
guidance and bringing it together and bringing it on. So tell me that I'm still trying to get the concept. It came as, did I understand that it came as pictures first and then it came as sound second, or tell me how did it come?
It was actually simultaneously, because the pictures already were existing.
Yeah.
And out of that came the frequency, how to put them, how to place them, and how to utilize that. Combined with the basic lyrics of that, it's like a symphony.
Yeah.
And that's basically where the universe gave us a symphony, including, for instance, the URL where you can find it is www.self-healing.ca. And we got all that channeled. So, and the URL was available. And I mean, that's how interesting that gets on that end, where again, the universe gave us an entire framework how to do that and how to bring it into action. Because as I said earlier, we had so many crashes on both servers, which made no sense whatsoever when it happened simultaneously, because we had to reduce some certain sequences in order to match the universal quality control.
Mm-hmm.
And when that was in place, everything was running smoothly, everything was perfect within that beta stage, and that was quite interesting. So there's no technical explanation or a chance for a technical explanation, and that's how that all came together.
So really what you're saying is you've moved from the Newtonian physics of creating things where A follows B equals C, and then you do that and you have a result or a magic formula. You're really into synchronicity and into the quantum field, where the quantum field is developing exactly what you want, but not necessarily telling you how it all happens, because it's, well, I would say it's almost indescribable what's happening on the back end. It's beyond our ability to even articulate it and even understand it. So, wow, that's really, really exciting. So I'm still struggling with the whole process and about how it came to be. Now, were these pictures the paintings or drawings, or where were they? They were paintings?
Paintings and drawings, yes.
Yeah.
Sketches.
So do you have any of the paintings or drawings handy that you could show somebody, or?
Not here right now, no.
No. All right. So these paintings or drawings were something that you started to come through you, and then how did that happen?
I just would sit in my art room and channel in, and I guess the universe was just answering the questions, and it was coming through into the artwork.
Yeah.
And I would put them away, put them aside, and when I did show people, they'd go, "Oh my goodness, you know, be really drawn into the idea, see even more than what I would see in them."
Right.
So I guess it's just divinely guided, I'd like to say.
Oh, absolutely. So where is this artwork? Can people see this artwork? Like, do you have it available to sell individually? Like, do you have it online, or?
Soon. I'm working on that. This was the most important part, is to be able to help people connect first to source. And like I said, I've kind of been a closet artist, putting this aside because it was, I don't know, I guess it was almost like an emotional journey.
Right.
And we'll journal, where this was where it was coming out through me in the pictures. And so when I sat back, I'm like, okay, sometimes I felt like it wasn't even what I created. It was just from the universe. So I don't even want to take credit for a lot of it sometimes.
Well, we can't take credit for any of this. I mean, we could try, but it hurts if we do, because we're getting into our ego.
Exactly.
Then we have to deal with the consequences of that. So it sounds like we're ready to host a coming out party for you, so that you can reveal your paintings and your artistic work into the world. Is that correct? Are you ready for that?
I'm getting there.
Good. Yeah, and I think we can help you do that. I'm working with Courtney Hall, and and she knows how to do all of that so that people can order prints and they're all done online, and they can do it on silk, or they can do it on this or that or whatever, and it can be backlit or front lit, or it can be blue and purple or whatever. So all that technology is there to make your job really easy when you get to that point of doing that. And that would be great, because each individual piece will speak to each person, like you say, with messages far beyond any one of us individually understanding. So they'll move each person in the ways that they need to be moved. So that to me is really exciting. This is the new function of art, right? Is that it's multidimensional and it moves people from A to B. Not that art hasn't done that before, but so much art has been mixed up with so much cultural, I would call, crap, that to have art that comes from source is a real gift. So that's exciting. And then, so how did the frequencies then come about? How did they get added? Or did I get it wrong? Is there frequencies connected to this, to the art? Is there sound, or is it all silent?
Music frequency is all around us. As long as we keep the source and the pure intent, it comes in. And just like you were talking about, what was that with what was it? The Schumann.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Schumann frequency.
And this is what's happening when you said what's going on the earth today, is frequencies are going crazy. But when we're able to connect to source and keep in that light, the frequencies that come in are guiding us, and they are showing us the way. And at this time, it's almost like a fight. Whether you say light and dark right now here on earth, this is how I'm feeling with the energy wise. You agree? You agree?
Yeah. So the exciting thing about this then, and the paintings themselves carry the frequency. The frequency then is soundless, but it does, just because it's soundless doesn't mean that it isn't incredibly powerful and transformative. So that's exciting.
Well, when you see the paintings, a lot of them will move. There's hidden things inside of them.
Right.
Some people will even say they look a little whimsical. Some people will, however, I've never interpreted them for anybody, because a piece of art should be interpreted by the person that's looking at it. It's just like with the app, or what Joe was saying. It's when a person heals, it comes from within. When a person should look at a piece of music or feel or hear a piece of music, it should feel from their soul just the same as a piece of art. So I think it leaves it open for a person to actually feel, instead of like our environment and everything that's going on around us. They're trying to interpret everything for us and put us and program us into a form where once we're able to connect to that freedom, I think our planet will take a substantial shift in the energy, because we will know who we are. We will know and be able to see our light, feel our light all around us, energy, frequency, visually.
And for instance, when you take a look into the ancient symbolism, so I studied lots of that ancient art of hypnosis and the symbolism and whatever was happening 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years ago. When you take a look into the meaningful components of it and the frequencies attached to whatever was written in these days, whatever was happening on that level, you get the basic frequency attachment to everything which was created in this period of times. And that's really fascinating and interesting. On that end, when we go back to some old knowledge, which was all present on that planet, but somehow got buried for whatever reason, power and control or whatever the deal is. And that's basically what came through these paintings, for instance, that old frequency connection, I would say, which the universe gave us again.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I'm just finishing a course where we've been working with the energies from Divine Mother. And we've been working for a year together, running divine energies that we're being gifted by Mother. And while it's said in a word like freedom or in a phrase from poverty to plenty, or from complaining to gratitude, these frequencies are so powerful in and of themselves. So it's like going back to the root language, pre-written, where the energy supersedes the actual structure of the language because it's so powerful. So the language itself is an artifact trying to capture the original vibrational frequency, but doesn't quite do it. So it's just like the painting captures the frequency that is beyond there, incapable to be described even by the painting. It's far more than that, but it gives you a touchstone on the third dimension to allow you to be able to receive it. And the reason I'm bringing this up is it's very exciting that most of these new technologies that are coming through are soundless. And until now, we thought, well, to be moved by sound or be transformed or changed by sound had to be in the frequency of our ears to hear. And actually, we're learning that that's not the case at all, that some of the most transformative energies that we can experience are soundless, at least to our ears, but certainly not to our body. And so this is really exciting to me because it allows that those frequencies that have been used for mind control in the same way can now be reversed with love and used in a very powerful way to bring about transformation, which goes back to the original conversation with you, Detlef, is we're taking everything that was misused, all the control mechanism, or this technology that was gifted to humanity that then got turned on its ear for mind control, and now we're flipping it back with love to allow us to free the human spirit to be back in the divine flow where it should be in the first place. So I commend both of you for the magnificent work that you're called to do. It's very, very exciting. So once again, how do people get hold of that? And what does it cost to download and all those sorts of good things?
It's $5.99 US in the Apple Store, and you can have a preview. We have two websites actually. One is www.key13, KEY and the number 13.ca. key13.ca. There's a preview on level 1. We have 5 levels within that app. And the other one, which I mentioned earlier, just gets launched or is on the way to launch. It's www.self-healing.ca, which is a little bit easier version to take a look in. So the Key 13 is a scientific end to explain what's going on for everybody who wants to dive deeper into the science of it. And self-healing is for the user who just wants to know, okay, how can I use it? There's a workbook involved and attached where you can utilize and know exactly what to do and how to use it and what to expect.
Great. So that's wonderful. So I'd like to go back to what you've been called to do. And in the session that we had together, one of the most amazing things for me is that when I've had practitioners work on me, it's been the energy of that practitioner primarily that I've got to experience. But with you, it was really exciting to actually feel the transmission and the point in which you said, well, I'm going to step back now, and then I'm going to let my guides or my light team, I can't remember how you described it, to step in and take over. And so to me, that was very exciting, and I could really feel the shift. So is this something that you learned through your primary teachers, or how did you come to this, to move to that dimensional understanding that you were the channel and that you could allow yourself to be used in that way?
How it works is, okay, I was clairaudient and voyant as a young boy, right? The game hide and seek always sucked because I knew where everybody was anyways, right? These kind of things. I levitated with an age of 12 and had a near-death experience with an age of 11. I was drowning. And I don't know how I got up from the bottom of that lake and survived that, no idea. So I was not ready to ascend, I guess. So basically, for everybody out there to understand it, we get called from the universe to do some certain service, to do some certain task. Whoever is ready can go onto that journey. It's fascinating. You need some, like in my case, I needed some fantastic teachers and mentors to get the human ego out of my system in order to understand the entire big picture. I guess a pretty good example is Greg Braden, who had similar situations, right, and who went on that research pathway And I guess I'm pretty similar to Greg. I wanted to understand how it works. So basically, meanwhile, I'm coming in a package. I have a couple of dudes, I call them, on the other side, who are using my body to channel that energy into the client. So really important is it's not my energy. So I can work with 8 or 10 people per day in the clinics, for instance. And at the end of the day, I can go for a 20K run because I'm so energized. So that it's not my energy, it's super important, which is utilized, for instance, when we worked. I'm just the power cord or the vessel. Mm-hmm. And so that's where I cannot claim anything that I'm doing all that miracle work. It's not me anyways, I'm just there when it happens. And what I'm seeing quite often is it's hard to get my mind around some things I'm seeing when I'm connecting with some people and doing that work, because you see spontaneous healing and remissions and all these kind of things. And I guess there's no higher level of being to have that experience, because I did everything else in life. And what I'm doing right now is, I guess, the best what can happen to a human being. And let me state that it was so great to meet you some time ago, where we had our first meeting somewhere in Alberta, where I found somebody I really can talk with and to, who is on that same level and has so much knowledge and so much insights. You helped me a big deal, so I see you as a coach and mentor too, because everybody has something, right? And that's
absolutely
the story.
Yeah, isn't this this is really the next step, is this co-creative process where two or more minds are brought together, and whether you call it a mastermind or whether it's a intentional experience of being in the same place at the same time or same place, this co-creative ability to you are experiencing male female, the divinity of the two, that allows this co-creation to happen, which you both know could not have happened individually. It had to be collectively as a pair to do. And so for that, I honor it. And in the work that I'm about to do in the new program, findingtheforce.com, for the new operating system for planet Earth, I'm working with Courtney Hale, and she's 40 years younger than I am. And no disrespect for our partners in our lives, but we were meant to meet each other to do a certain body of work. And so this is also what we think as relationships is also changing and transforming as we come to this new consciousness that we're working in different ways as pair, both male and female, because we need to balance those energies for this next transmission to bring through this energy. So that's exciting as well. So I'm fascinated by, you being this bridge between the light and the dark, and being able to maintain that, because it provides an inspiration for all those that have dabbled in the dark and got themselves into trouble, that there is somebody like you who understands both sides of the fence. Not that you've gone and played on the other side, but you've been around those that have, and the consequences of that, and it's not pretty. And so you can help them, bring them back from the edge. So if you've been playing with mojos and, voodoo and black magic and those things that you probably shouldn't have, and got yourself into trouble, and that it's time to clean up, and then I really want you to reach out and get hold of Detlef. He can help bring you back literally from the void, because this is a time you can't stay across on the other side. It'll be damaging not only to yourself, but to your lineage. So now's the time. You got to choose the light or the dark. And I can guarantee you, having played on the side of the dark unintentionally because of my ego, to get back in the light can be very painful. The waking up process is not a pretty experience. I don't welcome that on anybody. So if you are, however, in that predicament, then please either get hold of Detlef or myself, so you can bring you back and help straighten you out, so you can get back on your soul path and be part of the planetary cleanup crew, and help us transform this into the planet that it deserves to be, with the technologies that are coming forth through people like Detlef. So we just got a few more minutes, but we do have, we're at 33, and we got to go, and we got until 60 minutes. So I don't want to rush this through. I just want you to have an opportunity to summarize some of the key things that you'd like to communicate to listeners about the work that you're doing, and summing up, what's up on planet Earth and the next steps.
Okay, what's up on planet Earth? I guess what we talked earlier. Let's summarize. We are seeing an incredible emotional overload. Everybody is facing. We cannot get away from that. We have to deal with the 100 monkey effect on many levels and layers, where the group conscious, which is kept intentionally on a lower frequency level, right? That's where situations are taking place, where people can get sick quite quickly. And that's basically where we can help and can apply some certain techniques within, for instance, the state of trance, where we can access entire cellular level, the DNA and the higher self of the person, and can change some certain frequencies. Most important part is, again, as you said so brilliantly, we have to be super careful that whoever's facilitating that process has to be the clear channel, has to be connected to the field. Otherwise, there's this really thin red line between fantastic healing and catastrophe. And that's basically where we have to be super conscious these days to connect to people who really know what they're doing with certain skill sets, and especially with that quantum field connection or that source field connection. And that's, I guess, one of the things for what's on planet Earth 2017, where people are coming together and bringing their knowledge to the table. And again, everybody has a piece of it. And that will be really, really interesting, because out of that comes possibly some movement, some cleanup process, whatever has to be done. Because as you said earlier, and I guess the two of us, we are totally on the same page, it cannot continue what we are seeing right now on many levels and layers. And something has to be done. And when we take a look into politics, let's don't go there at this point, but it's not pleasant. And here comes the great part, because I was involved in politics. I was working on senior government level at the German health government in my past life in Germany. I saw all the corruption you can see. I saw so many things happening on political level. And I have been with one foot on the dark side, or in the dark side at this point. We are talking 30 plus years ago. And that's where I know, okay, it needs people like all of us and others to get something going here, to really create some changes and help people to get out of the down spiral of low frequencies. I guess that's, I hope I could sum it up in one statement here.
Well, thank you very much. And yes, helping people get out of the low frequencies, get back in the light, on the return path to light is really what we're all about, to bring about this new way of being on planet Earth, which is remembering who we are, that we are here to bring about change and transformation. We're the people that the planet's been waiting for, and it's now time to deliver. So if
having
fun for your tribe and haven't found it, then guess what? You just found it now. So give us a call and get in touch with us. And if you need to get cleaned up and cleared up because you've been playing in the dark, then get hold of us and we'll help bring you back to the light. If you have entities, disincarnate beings, and your system is loaded up and you don't know what to do, then we can help you do that as well. So there hasn't been really any situation on planet Earth that we haven't dealt with. Not that we're bragging and we don't really want to do that work, but we're called to do it, so let's do it. So we want to just live in a more peaceful environment, and those entities, bless their hearts, the discarnate ones, they really are here for us to learn on the soul level about why we're here and how to stand in our truth, take back our personal power. And so while they may be very, very destructive and they may be bring us hell, and sometimes it feels like damnation, they really are our best teachers. So in the worst moments, let's not forget that. So thank you for being on the show and introducing your technology for us. And when you get rid of that entity clearing technology. We'll have another discussion about that because I'm sure there's lots of people on this call that could benefit. So for now, bye for now, and thanks for being on the show. It was a great pleasure to have you, and we'll be in touch. So bye for now.
Thank you so
Very
much.
much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tyson.
For quality online wellness products, courses, and services, visit our sponsors, thewellnessstore.ca and the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy located at thewellnessacademy.ca. To stay in touch, visit us at thewellnessshow.ca. And until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.